now at the close. I'm going to say a few words at the very end of thank you, but what I really wanted to do was introduce our close partner, Ambassador Mohammed Belmahi, who's the head of the OCP Foundation, to give a few concluding remarks.
Yeah.
Please.
I think what happened at the last session with the moderator and time problems, it reminds me of a conference where Boris Yeltsin was sitting at the very end of the conference, and the moderator asked him to formulate and summarize the outcome of the conference in one word because of time constraints, and then he said, "Good." Then the moderator said, "We have a little bit more time. Could you elaborate in 2 words?" Then he said, "Not good." So I just would like, dear ministers, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, despite the United States elections and UN General Assembly, this second session of the Atlantic Dialogues did attract over 300 persons and participants from over 47 countries. It is by itself a success, and again, a notoriety when we compare these figures to the 2011 session that attracted 19 countries with 70 participants. It's even more interesting when we know 60 out of the 70 participants of last year are present with us here today. The OCP Foundation and the GMF have been listening to your remarks and suggestions. We did record by talking to you informally. We are pleased to inform you that the following ideas and innovations will be considered by the organizers of the Atlantic Dialogues for introduction during the 3rd session that will be planned also in Rabat for the coming fall of 2013. First of all, I would like to announce the following proposals: to provide each participant with an iPad, making the forthcoming sessions more interactive. Second, to introduce more data on given subjects or themes, both electronically on the main screens during the plenary sessions and also by the moderators. Third recommendation, the idea is to pay more attention and improve the tools so we can create more intellectual capital for the participants. Also, to improve the mix of panelists by introducing young leaders and young professionals so they can get the chance to also become panelists. To invite more key corporate CEOs and executives as panelists. As you know, we have had 30 companies from big institutions from the Atlantic Basin this year. And also, we would like to reinforce within the panels the presence of personalities that do influence innovative governance and political thinking. Our corporate participants, consulted separately, have specifically requested that our future sessions focus their debates on youth and women issues, on transparency and anti-corruption, on more interactive approaches to partnership, development, and more business-oriented working sessions, including B2B meetings. Other recommended themes are corporate social responsibilities, best practices from South Atlantic Basin corporations. Also, the representation of Africa should be reinforced. More participants from Africa should be here, and I think the last panel has been very clear on that point. We also should not deal with Africa as a monobloc, but rather as a complex and diversified continent, as it has been underlined by the informal poll we have conducted. Therefore, the future sessions should also focus as much as possible on discussing solutions and not just the problems, while they are, of course, important. At the end, the last recommendation is to focus on economic development, food security issues, energy, and maritime navigation security were also mentioned. It was recommended that government failures, as much as successes in dealing with such issues, should be underlined. We consider that in order to make the Atlantic dialogues future sessions attractive and successful, we should always be market-driven, with the maximum attention to be paid to participant satisfaction. Only then this forum will have an attraction as well as a multiplier effect in terms of generating more positive and innovative ideas that could have a chance to be implemented. Thank you for coming to Rabat. We all look forward to having you back to the third session of the Atlantic Dialogues here in Rabat. I would like to thank the German Marshall Funds of the United States, as well as all the persons that have been working behind the scenes. I would like also to thank the Moroccan authorities, the Wali of Rabat, the Mayor of Rabat we have met, and all the security personnel for their valuable input. I also would like to thank the OCP Foundation staff that has worked tirelessly to make this forum a success, side by side with the German Marshall Fund. Last but not least, I would like to thank all our colleagues from the OCP group and Mr. Tarab here present for giving to this Atlantic Dialogues Forum all his full attention and constant support from the very beginning. This forum would not have been possible without his personal backing. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you very much.
And thank you. We are very grateful for the help that we've gotten here in Morocco. As some of you know, we do an annual event in Brussels. We've been teasing some of our Belgian partners that Morocco has set a very high standard for what you do when you want to host a major conference of this kind. Our collaboration with the foundation and with the company, as well as the local authorities, have been great. And there's been some added wonderful things. I don't know if you've noticed these young people that have been around with staff badges on. They're all volunteers that come from one of the local universities here. And I have to say, for me, of all of the things that have happened this week, and there's been many, many good things, the impression that they've left on me about the future of Morocco is probably the strongest, because it's just an extraordinary group of young people. If you get a chance to thank them when you see them outside, please do, because they are extraordinary. They're smart, they're opinionated, they argue with us, and they've been just terrific help. We've had a lot of other great people here that have been part of this. My colleagues at both the OCP Foundation and company, but also at the German Marshall Fund, our longtime collaborators at the Reef Group, Paige and Bain. I don't know where they are. They're the guys that actually designed this, this set. But the biggest thanks I want to give is to all of you. This has been a very unusual and different conference. Some of our friends that have been at other transatlantic events, I think would say this has been different in a very, very good way. A different agenda, a different set of issues, a different dynamic, frankly, a different kind of conversation in almost every way. And we think it's well worth continuing, and we look forward to seeing you next year here in Morocco. Thank you very much. Lunch is going to be over at the patio restaurant because it's still a little too damp out by the Golden Fish. People will be escorting you over there. Thank you so much. See you next year.